So we learned our colored pencils, and it actually brought us into what we're going to learn about today, which is actually color itself. Because when you did your layering and your blending, it changed the color, and that's what we're going to master today. I'm not sure if master is the right word, but we're going to give it our best try, right? So in our eyes, we have cone photoreceptors that pull in light, which creates the color that we see in our brain. They actually talk to our brain. And I've said it before, we all see color different and shapes and things like that. And it is because all of us have different eyesight. Miss Linda wears her glasses every chance she can get because she can see things clearer. Although sometimes when you don't have them on, it's a little blurry. It's fun too. So we've learned our whole lives that primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. And it's true. That's the standard. But I read a very interesting article about primary colors. And if you look on a printer box, the ink for color printing, you'll see that it's cyan, yellow, and magenta. So we're not wrong, because I did a little example to show you where this red, yellow, and blue came from. If you look at these colors together, and from the distance between the camera and I, you can actually see this is very yellow. This is very red. It's magenta. This is very yellow because it's yellow again. And then cyan is a blue-green, a light bluish green color. It's very unusual, but it does come off as a blue. So they're right, but we're also right when we have our standard color wheel. I'm surprised that there's gray in the middle. And gray is a neutral color. You can add gray to anything, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But when you mix all of your primary colors together, you get, anybody know? Yes, brown. So Miss Linda's gonna make her adjustment right here. Now I feel more comfortable with my color wheel. So here we go. So your primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. And then there's secondary colors. Those are the colors that when you mix your primary colors together, you get that color. You mix red and yellow together, you're gonna get orange. You mix blue and green, blue and yellow, you're going to get green. Too many words for Miss Linda. If you mix red and blue together, you'll get violet or purple. And that's another thing. We're going to find out when purple came instead of violet. I want to know when that came. I didn't look it up, but I'm going to. So we call these hues because they are not a true color. And it's easier to call them a hues. That way we're not pinpointing one certain color because there's a variation. So many colors are different. So if you add white to a hue, you're going to tint the color. It's going to become, if you put white in red, it becomes pink. Pink is a tint of the hue red. If you want to change the shade of something, you add black to it. I also believe that if you add the complementary color, and I'll talk about that in a minute too, it will also darken the color. It will change the shade. Now, when you use gray, you're changing the tone, but it can dull it. It can mute it down. So if you want more of a pastel-y look that's a little softer, I'd say go with gray. It's not something that you're used to using, but it's definitely something that we're going to be trying. Now, your intermediate colors. Let's see if Miss Linda can get my colors right. I'll use my aid. So if you take yellow and orange, a primary and a secondary color, and mix those together, you're going to get a yellow-orange. If you use red and orange, you're going to get a red-orange. So you're taking a secondary color and a primary color, mixing them together and making an intermediate color. Those come in very different hues as well. And again, when you're practicing your colors and your color concoction that we're going to make, I want you to try a white over it. Try to dull it with a gray. Try to change the hues in the tints, in the shades. Now, complementary colors are colors that are across from each other on the color wheel. So you've got orange and blue are complementary colors. Yellow and purple are complementary colors. Red and green are complementary colors. When you're using red and you want to deepen it just a little bit, put a little green in there instead. I'll probably show you how to do this, but I like to tell you so that when you're watching the video for a second time or something, these will come back to you after you've seen the demonstration and be like, oh yeah, that's right, I saw that, I remember that. So let's get to our demo, let's get to our lesson, let's get to our color fun. The color wheel we've all grown up with. I actually understand how this came about, and I talked about it earlier, how, you know, when you look at something like this and it shows you the three colors, cyan, I always want to say magna, it's magenta, and yellow. On the side, the same thing. So the original color wheel that I was talking about earlier, I decided I'm going to give it a try and see how this all came about. And again, experiment, learn, dig, research, find stuff out. So I did. I tried using the magenta and the cyan and the yellow. And I understand where red, blue, and yellow came from. Cyan is really it's a greenish blue almost. I looked it up because I actually did not know what cyan color was. And it is, it's very similar to this blue that they use on the standard color wheel. So I figured I would mix and try and, you know, use my skills of the colored pencils that we learned last class to see how it was. And I was really happy because you know how many times I've pulled this out of my treasure box to use? I actually got to use it on this, so it made Miss Linda pretty happy about that. So yes, it works. I understand it. To make things easier for us though, we will stick to this standard color wheel. And I decided that we're not going to do a wheel. Miss Linda's heard about, seen color wheels for the past 50 some years. And you'll like my first interpretation. It's pretty funny. So remove this for a moment and show you this was my beginning of a color wheel. And the more I did it, the more I looked at it, and it looked like some sort of Japanese cartoon doll floating in space or something. And even though I had red, blue, and yellow all ready to go, the more I looked at it, the more I said, no, I don't think so. So like I always say, if it doesn't work the first time, try it again. So this is what I came up with for the second one. You can do your primary colors and your secondary colors and then go into your intermediate colors in the little ones. If you look at this, you'll see. You've got violet, red, red, orange, orange, yellow, orange. So what you're doing is combining the two large ones together to make your intermediate colors. I've done this one. Now for my younger students, do this second. Do it if they're ready to do it. This is the most important, your primary and your secondary colors for them. Once they've done it, if they want to do another, I don't know what the word would be, another circles, because I don't want to call it a circle artwork to color in, then they can. So I'm going to show you how we did it. I had my treasure box. I got in there and decided I was going to use these. That's one, that's another. So you're just taking, and you can do this in pencil. I'm using marker so that it's easier for you to see. I know that pencil is very difficult to see when you're doing it. And I'm going to look at this while I'm doing it to make sure that I don't make another floating some sort of cartoon in space. And we need to leave enough room. So I'm going to start over here. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more large. Let's see, leaving enough room for my intermediate colors. So we'll have our primary. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I need another one over here. I'm going to put this up a little higher so I have some room. Yes. If they touch, it's fine. This is me having you make a let's call it a color spectrum. I like that word. A color spectrum. And guess what? We're going to be using all of the techniques that we learned in our colored pencil lesson on these. It's going to help you. The blending, the layering, all of those will help you. Even the scrumbling. Miss Linda likes that word, scrumbling. All right, so let's count. We should have red, blue, purple. All right, we're ready. Okay, instead of coloring everything all at once for you, I am going to show you this again and then move on to in my folder so I'm organized. There we go. Put that back. This is for the younger children. You've got your 3 primaries. And I want you to feel this too. It leaves a really nice, slick, shiny finish on it. Now the green, I started with the blue. I did the primary colors so that I could show you how to blend those. So the orange, we need a red over the orange. Again, the bumper. Go lightly at first. Oops, I have to move this, otherwise I'm going to get little spots on there. So I'll just put that out of the way. It's not looking super orange, is it? Just like when we were doing the blending and layering. Actually, I could call this like a cosmic piece of color artwork. I'm going to take some more yellow and put more yellow over the top. See if we can get that orange. Oh, now it's starting to get orange. And again, look at this from a distance because you're really going to see your secondary colors jump out at you. So layer and layer and layer. If you want to try to blend it and see if that works. The green, I'm going to take my blue. Blue and yellow make green. Red and yellow make orange. And then we'll do violet. You'll hear violet and see violet quite a bit. It's actually the original name of purple. That would be something to look up. When did the word purple come? Green is the hardest color to recreate with these 2 colors. I can see it. I'm sure you can too. So I'm going to do the violet on my larger scale cosmic color concoction. Got my primary colors. I'm ready to do some of my secondary colors. So we already saw the yellow and the green on my last one. So this time, let's do violet. I'll get my red. See, I just called it. And if you put the red down first and put the blue on top of it, it would create a different color, believe it or not, around. It's starting to turn to purple. This is the easiest. Purple is the easiest color to recreate. So now I'm going to put some more pressure. Let's see if we can get a deep purple. So what color do you see the most? You're right, red. So what would be your suggestion to Miss Linda? Should I keep putting more red and see if it works, or take that blue and go over it again? Take that blue. You're right. Excellent. So I'm going to go in the opposite direction and see if we can get a purple. Purple, purple. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting it. And again, if it's not doing it, smudge it a little bit and see if you can. There we go. See? These are your best tools. I'll say it over and over again. So we did the green, we did the orange. Let's do, it's almost like you can see the violet, the red violet right there. I'm going to do it different. This time I'm going to put the red on first. This will take you quite a bit of time to do. So what I want you to do is while you're doing it, if you need to get up and take a break, pause that computer. Go get a drink of water, look outside, and then come back and do some more. When you force yourself, or when you're too tired of something artistic and you keep pushing at it, it's not fun anymore. It just becomes a job. This looks like a little marble. All right, so I have the red first. Let's see if I can put the blue on top of it. Very lightly, because I want a red violet. I want the red to show more than the blue. around. So this is a red violet. It's not as bright. When we use pastels, you will see that bringing these colors out will be a lot easier. Let's try a blue-green. I have the blue. I'm gonna put a green over the top of it. Now, this should create a turquoise color. And this is actually almost that cyan color to me. The cyan has more blue than green, but... Oh, let's scrumble. Scrumble. I am doing my cross-hatching and my layering, and I forgot about scrumbling, especially when you're doing circles. It makes it so much easier. Now, the blue is too strong, right? So I need to push a little harder on my green. You want the blue to be stronger because it is blue-green, but you want to be able to see a color difference. See how it's starting to change? Now, yellow-green is really cool. It's going to brighten everything up. The green will come almost like a neon green. Up, scrumble, Miss Linda, scrumble. Large and then small. Light touch first. You can always go darker, but once the dark is on, it's very hard to get rid of it. Now I'm going bigger. I'm letting my eyes actually tell my hands what to do. The eyes are telling me that it's too dark over here. You need to get some more dark in over here. Now, because it's yellow-green, I see more green. So I can take my yellow and just go over the top again. And again, even if it's two-sided and it's small, it still works. I was actually thinking of treating myself to a new pack of colored pencils. I might just do that. All right, now we've brightened that green up. Can you see that? So you'll do the red, orange, finish all of the large ones with your primary and your secondary colors. When you go and do your intermediate colors, just play with them. Keep playing with them. I guess we could do a yellow-orange. We have time. All right, scrumbling, blending. Let's just try cross-hatching. Lifting my pencil off the paper, turning it. Now it looks like Saturn. I had one of my students send me in a beautiful painting that she had done of Saturn. And it was gorgeous. I'll have to maybe post it on my website so everyone can enjoy it. I'll ask her if it's okay. I had her many years ago. I think she's in middle school now. But boy, was it nice. Okay, yellow-orange is cross-hatching. Is doing it, but you're losing the yellow. So I'm going to cross-hatch over the top of that in a different direction. Actually, I'm just back and forthing over it. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So combine all of your techniques that you learned. That's gorgeous. This is your, it's not homework. This is your fun stuff to do. I'd like you to, if you wanted to start out with the primary and the secondary colors, please feel free. That would be this. You can always add those little circles onto this when you're done, if you're ready to do your intermediate colors. But go ahead and do it over and over again. And I don't know why I did this. Miss Linda just saw something that she did very silly. I should have just used my purple. So watch this. See, even us professional grown-ups tend to do things that are silly. So that'll make your life easier because basically Miss Linda should have just used the purple. Here, I'll make it on the outside for you. So again, don't get upset about your mishaps. Just go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. And then just try it again. All right, thank you so much. We did our uncircled color wheel with circles, and we used our colored pencils, and hopefully in the different ways that we learn the cross-hatching and the stippling and all of that. Next week, we are going to take all of those and form an amazing piece of artwork. So practice with your colors, practice with your pencils, and next week be ready to just be creative. I'll see you next class.